want to explain to everybody what we're doing?
Well, Jody's door came off the hinges. The bottom hinge broke.
We came unhinged?
We came unhinged, yes, in more ways than one. So, we can't open and shut the door very well. So we have the door completely shut and locked. And now I'm coming in through the window because the only way you can shut the door is from the outside. You have to lift up, push in, and slam from the outside. So, since we have the door shut from the outside, I have to come in through the window.
I've been having trouble with my door for a little while now. There's this little lever that holds it in place down there. That thing kept coming unscrewed, and then a few times the wind caught it. So while we were parked at Corpus Christi, the door started, I tried to work on that, and the door started coming apart from the frame. Really bad, to the point where we couldn't get the door shut. We were able to finally, do our best, lift it up and push it in and able to get it shut. So we decided to go up to Kerrville, Texas, spend a few nights and work on finding a place to get the door fixed. And we were very, very lucky to find a place. Yours, I'm not sure I'm going to say that. I'm going to put their name up here. They got us in as quick as possible, a couple days, and did a really great job on fixing it up. But it was a lot of fun trying to figure out how we were going to get down the road with the door in the shape that it was.
So that's what I'm going to attempt to do.
And how are you coming through the window?
I am using Jody's handy dandy telescopic ladder.
Yes.
That has these rungs that get themselves in and out.
All right. So
All
go
right.
ahead. Have fun.
Are we ready? I will only do this in take one. So get it right. So we got to both make sure we get this right the first time.
And if you're seeing this, it was successful. If you're not seeing this, I'm in the emergency room.
All right.
Look at there.
Last step.
Good thing you had that weight loss.
Oh, well, no. Okay. I'm in.
You're in, and you didn't go too far.
And the ladder's still there. So we can pull the ladder
Yay.
in.
And you didn't completely fall, so that's good.
No, and I'm not hurt.
So as I mentioned, we decided to head on up to Kerrville. It was a halfway to where we were going to go to next. And I had been there before, so I knew it was a fairly good-sized city. When we got there, and after we found out that the RV repair was going to take place, we started looking for a place to stay the night and found the Kerrville Shriner Park. It's a city park, but it's a really nice park. It was $30 a night for full hookups. They had basically two sides to the park. Our first night, we stayed on the riverside because we thought that would be cool on the Guadalupe River. However, we found that it was extremely noisy over there. So the next day, we took a look at the other side, what they call the hillside, and it was super nice. It's called the Deer Loop, and so we moved over there for the rest of our stay. We were there, I think, 3 or 4 nights because we had to wait for the RV repair to get our vehicle in. However, what was really cool is when we were staying in Kerrville, we got to looking around and we discovered a couple places that we wanted to go to that were really close. So there was some serendipity in the sense that we were able to plan a day in Fredericksburg, Texas, a small German town that I wanted to go take a look at. And then we found out that the LBJ National Historic Site was not that far away either. So we had a couple of days in Kerrville where we were able to go and still find some interesting and cool things to do. So today we are visiting the Lyndon B. Johnson State Park, which is also a National Historical Park. I'm a huge fan of Lyndon B. Johnson. Currently reading a book by Doris Kearns Goodwin about him, and this man got the Civil Rights Act passed, so I've always had a special place in my heart for him. So we are at the Lyndon Johnson State Park and Historical Site. We're at the Visitor Center, and there's this nice plaque that kind of shows you the different places that we'll be going today. The Sauer-Beckmann Living History Farm is kind of cool. Oops, let me get out of there. Shadow here. Here's some things not to miss at the thing. There's the Visitor Center complex, and then that Sauer-Beckmann Living History Farm, if we could buy there, because my grandma, her maiden name was Sauer, so that's kind of cool. I think it's a pretty common and kind of big name in Germany. There's a bison herd, longhorns. So anywho, we're going to take a look at all of those. It's basically a driving tour. The Texas White House is not open because of COVID, but it's kind of nice because the sun is coming out. It was raining earlier, but it looks really nice. Over here, my sister, we're going to get a selfie there in front of the Welcome to LBJ State Park and Historic Site. And then we're going to go inside and get our passports stamped. This was used to make sorghum. They'd put the plant through that thing, and then a horse or a mule or something would take it around, and it would squeeze the juice out of the cane. So that's how they used to make sorghum. I've seen it used for that. I'm assuming that's what that one's for. So again, this is the Sauer-Beckmann farm, living history farm here at the LBJ State Park. It's right next door to the Federal Historic Park. The Sauer-Beckmann families, one of the Sauer daughters served as a midwife for the Johnsons, and then the Beckmans bought it next, and they're the ones who donated it to the state park later on. But it was the Sauer-Beckmann living history. We have cows. Cute little cow. I was looking at this thinking, I'm really glad we have modern transportation to take us across country, because that does not look like it has very good shocks. Some water for the livestock, water well. Over here you can see another wagon and the farmhouses. And then over here we have garden out. It looks like things are growing, so you can see a truck there. They have park volunteers and rangers that dress in period clothing and do interpretive things. I'm not sure they have that going on right now, but it's kind of cool. Inside the old barn. It's kind of funny, I don't know why, but I like the smell of a barn. A little bit of manure, but it's also old wood and grain, the smell of grain. So I always enjoy that a little. And this looks like this is his workshop. You can see they have the stones to sharpen the tools. Really nice. Gotta have a workshop to fix all the things that go wrong on a farm. Some more storage, some plows. There's probably grain storage there. I don't know that I've ever seen the sacks like that. That's kind of cool. Work shed down here, it looks like. Those big doors. Let's swing out. Oh, it's just a blacksmith shop. I think I did remember saying they did blacksmithing. Now, my great-grandfather on my mom's side was also a blacksmith. The Sauer was on my dad's side, that grandmother. But on my mom's side, I had a great-grandfather that was a blacksmith. So.
would love this. Wouldn't he just love this?
Yeah, he would. Isn't that sort of like the vanity that he has? It's a little smaller, but.
Yeah, it's shorter, but it's very much the same design.
Yep. There's a log cabin quilt.
Parlor.
Oh, my mom used to have one of these. She sewed on it when I was a kid. She got a newer one later, but she had one of those.
Sister learned that this cabin here is where they started out. This log cabin is where they started out, built that first. And then he started making money in cotton. And they built this two-story here. And girls downstairs, boys upstairs, I think is what I heard. And then eventually they added on this part over here. And this part over here still served as the kitchen on the main floor. Added that dog trot passageway through there. But the guy that was giving the tour gave a funny story about how the lady was going to marry the guy and he promised her a two-story house, and they said, oh, don't listen to him, he's just a cotton farmer. Well, then the war happened and cotton went through the roof, so she did all right for herself. He doesn't want to look at me. You do have to watch where you walk though here, because there's little droppings everywhere, but that's the farm life. So we're at the Lyndon Baines Johns National Historical Park. It's across the river, across the Pedernales River from the state park. So we're just now entering. And over here is the one-room school where he went when he was a kid. It's called the Junction School. And my sister was just explaining that that's where he signed the, what was it again, Kim?
Elementary and Secondary Education Act.
Excellent. Yeah, LBJ was quite an innovator. He got a lot of stuff done, so.
He also started the Head Start program, which was part of his education platform.
Yeah, so we're going to start our tour in here. This is Samuel Johnson house. This is where LBJ was born. Pecan groves around here. So there's the town. The cemetery. There's the cemetery here in a minute. But what a beautiful place to grow up as a kid. Really, today is really pretty, so it's cool, but it's good. The rain has gone away, so that's nice. Beautiful, beautiful day. I'm not quite sure how much is open, but we'll take a look. It's my understanding that this is a renovation of his birthplace home. He had it renovated in the 1960s as a guest house. So it looks modern because it has been restored. Its original farm, barn out back there. They say this is still a working farm, so there's cattle about and things like that. So. But it's a little hard to see in here, but they have, the window pane kind of things here, and they have them marked off here, but at least you can see inside, so it's kind of nice. So, here at his birthplace home, his father's home. Looks like we had a sewing room and bedroom, and then you can see, you can see over here a beautiful secretary and a desk back there. Like I said, he had this renovated in the 1960s as a guest house, so it probably didn't look exactly like this when his family lived here. Oh, I love this view right here. This is awesome. This is cool. As well. That's cool. This sign talks about that the reconstructed birthplace. It said, near the site at dawn on August 27th, 1908, the future 36th President of the United States was born. The first child of Sam Ely Johnson, Jr., a state legislator, and Rebecca Bain Johnson, an educator and journalist. LBJ lived here for the first 5 years of his life. And here you can see his family. Well, this is his grandparents and their family at the original house, which you can see the house is pretty close to the original. And then here's LBJ when he was just 6 months old, looking like a little cutie patootie. And his President Johnson on the grounds with his friend Reverend Billy Graham. So, this is the Johnson Family Cemetery. It is right across the street from the birthplace home, you can see. And this is where many members of the Johnson family are buried, including the president and Lady Bird. This is interesting. This sign shows you where the different family members are buried. And you can see right there in the middle the two larger stones back there are LBJ and Lady Bird, or Claudia Taylor Johnson, nicknamed Lady Bird. When I was a kid, when I was first born, the Kennedys were actually in the White House. But then when he was assassinated and LBJ became president, my bigger brothers, I guess maybe I was trying to act a little important or something, and they used to call me Turdy Bird, because they said there was a Lady Bird in the White House and a Turdy Bird in their house. So Lady Bird and I have a special connection. This is one reason I've always been a huge fan of LBJ. I know not all people are, but the man had a vision of a great great society of beauty, education, healthcare, transportation, environmental issues, and above all, civil rights. And so, wanted to eradicate racial inequality and poverty, and he had this idea of a more perfect society. And I feel the same way. I understand a lot of people don't agree with, using government funds, if you will, for that kind of thing. But I truly believe in the idea of a perfect society. I believe in that we must live together, that we have a civil contract, if you will, to live together and help each other out. So I've always admired that about LBJ.